morning. Good morning. It is game day. Welcome into the Pig Trail Nation Game Day show. Alyssa Orange here. And let's bring in the rest of the crew back at the Pig Trail Nation studios. And I got to tell you, Mike and Tara have a baller setup. Guys, I think you're going to make anyone tailgating jealous today with what you guys got going on. But it is game day, and we've waited so long to get here.
Yeah, I'm going to be hanging out here all day with Jason Carroll, our sports director, but Tara, she gets to be at the game. She's going to be on the sideline as part of the SEC Network coverage of the game, and I think you have super secret information, but she won't tell me.
You know what? I got to keep it close to the vest. I'm kidding. I don't know anything super secret. It's going to be an exciting day, though, for both Arkansas and Georgia. I know Razorback fans have just been dying to see what Sam Pittman and his staff have been able to do. So a lot to look forward to, and you're right. We do have a pretty stellar setup right here. Do you think we have enough Wendy's, Dr. Pepper, Magellan stuff over here? I think we got it.
Cool.
I'm pretty jealous of that Dr. Pepper tower you guys got behind you, that Fansville tower. That's pretty sweet.
It is pretty neat. If only we had some
I like it. Hey, Mike, you got to work on that.
I'm not in charge.
Yeah, maybe next time. Maybe next time. Mike, you got to work on those bribes a little bit for Tara to get her to tell you some of those secrets. But guys, it's been about 300 days since Arkansas played their last game. Yeah, right? It's felt like 10 years, right? I feel like all we've done is talk about football, talk about whether or not football's coming back, talk about when it's going to get started, watch all these other conferences play, but the SEC is finally starting. And we get to a point now that not only do we get to the start of the season, but Arkansas and Georgia healthy enough to go ahead and play today, Mike.
Yeah, there were a lot of fans who kept saying this would never happen. Thankfully, they were wrong. I'm not sure how many of them realize just how hard the conference commissioner, the 14 ADs, and all the coaches and players worked to make this happen. They're the ones that deserve a huge amount of credit.
And, you know, honestly, though, we don't actually know how healthy these two teams are going to be. You know, we have to wait and see who takes the field and just kind of figure it out and go from there.
Well, let's talk about the guy at the head of this Arkansas program in Sam Pittman. This is a big game for him. Not only is it the first as the head coach at Arkansas, but of course welcoming him to the SEC and playing his former team. Sam Pittman left Arkansas in 2016 to join Georgia and Kirby Smart, and then in 2018 he helped lead an offensive line that took Georgia to lead the SEC in rushing, also win an East title. And then in 2009 he was named associate head coach over at Georgia, but he always waited for that phone call he's wanted since he left Arkansas, and it was the phone call to come back. He finally got that and is excited to be here.
I'm very, very thankful and grateful to have had the opportunity to coach at Georgia and to coach under Kirby Smart. I learned a lot, and he was very, very good to me. However, am I nervous? Yes. And why? Because they're really good. I mean, they're an outstanding football team, and they're big, and they run to the football, and they'll knock you off the ball. And on both sides of the line of scrimmage, they're probably as good as any team that will play this year.
Heading into today, Georgia, the 4th-ranked team in the country, but the feeling's mutual with the Bulldogs. When they're asked about Sam Pittman, they say, look, it's one of those situations where you root for the guy to win, except for when they're playing us. And those guys across the sidelines today are going to have a lot of respect for Arkansas's head coach.
I'm going against a very dear friend of mine and Coach Pittman, who did just a unbelievable job while he was here. He and his wife Jamie meant so much to the community here in Athens and to so many of our kids. You know, he helped build the foundation of what we have now.
Coach Pittman recruited me here, and I have great respect for him. And you know, he's at Arkansas now, and we respect him as a coach and as a getting ready for this team.
Just how family origin he was, and his energy on and off the field. I mean, what you got on the field is what you got off the field, and just how he take care of his players and the love and support he gives them.
Guys, when you talk about Sam Pittman and you ask some of his former players about him, that's the reaction you're going to get from the guys at Georgia to the guys he coached here at Arkansas, and I'm sure the guys who are currently at Arkansas feel the same way. He's a player's coach, but he truly cares about these guys, and I think that's why this game is so special because, look, we know the coaching fraternity is a small club, right, and everyone has friends and other organizations, but there's just something different about the connection Sam Pittman builds with his coaches and his players.
Yeah, and that's nice, but you've also mentioned it for about 3 hours that it takes to play this game. These guys are opponents, and you're trying to beat your opponent. I also think that Pittman's knowledge of Georgia's offense and defense will be a factor in this game, but when it's over, then they can go back to being friends again.
Yeah, I'm with Mike on this one. You know, Sam Pittman, though, is such a personable guy. I remember meeting him for the first time, actually, when Frank Ragnow got drafted, and I just thought it was so cool that he came to support him for that, and that's just the type of person that Sam Pittman is, you know. He doesn't talk about building relationships. He actually fosters them, and, you know, he keeps them with his players. So I'm sure it's going to be an interesting game for him to play against some of the guys that he recruited to play at Georgia.
Yeah, but I definitely think, Mike, you're right. There's no question that Sam Pittman's very focused on winning this game. He would love to get a win over his former team. And, of course, Arkansas would love to get a win because it would mean the first SEC win since 2017. One of the guys